So students, we are now going to describe the same program as we have discussed before, that is the finding the factorial of a number in the way of another construct, another looping construct, that is while loop. So the same program, we will just do it in a different manner. So let's get started with the program now. The program is quite similar. The initial part of the program is quite similar to the previous program, that is the factorial finding by the for loop. The initial part will not differ so much and the remaining portion will differ to some extent. So let us not concentrate on the initial portion because it is very similar to the previous program. So int n I fact is equal to 1, just we are going line by line in a very quick fashion. Int n I fact is equal to 1, as you know. Printf, enter a number, the number whose factorial is to be determined. Scanf, %d, ampersand n is the input. Then the invalid input situation and the 0 and 1 situation which we have dealt in the previous program as well. That is, if n is less than 0, then printf invalid input. Then if else if n is equal to 0, logical or operator, n is equal to 1, printf, the factorial of %d is %d, n fact. That is quite similar to the previous program. Now we come to the else portion, final else block. Now we will use another construct, another loop construct, that is the while construct. While will work in the same fashion as for, but in this while we will use another type of syntax. That is, for we have three portions usually, that is the initialization portion and the condition checking portion and the modification portion. For while we will not write in that fashion. For while we will write the condition only beside the while in parenthesis, then the increment portion or the modification portion, whether it is increment or decrement, whatever it may be, it will be dealt with in the while block in the last expression statement. And whatever is the value of fact now will be having the value of the 1. That is, say suppose if any user gives a value of 3, then what will do? Value of n is equal to 3. Then see this, it is not those two statements will not be executed. Those two statements will not be executed. We come to this else block. While I less than or equal to n means I less than or equal to, that means whatever is the value of I. So we need to initialize the value of I to be how much? Suppose 2. We will have to add one extra element over here, that is, we have to initialize the I value to 2 because we don't have the initialization in this section. So in this manner, so in this portion we have to just modify a little bit, that is, only declaration will not help our cause. We will write I is equal to 2 over here. That is, we'll deal with any other situations other than negative numbers. 0 and 1 all have been dealt with in those previous two lines, and after that we will deal with only the cases of 2 and above. So we have to initialize this I is equal to 2 in this fashion. So while I less than or equal to n means I is now 2, which is definitely 2 is less than equal to 3. Then the condition holds, the program control enters the while loop, and the while loop's first statement of the while loop is like this: fact is equal to fact star I. Whatever is the value of fact, what is the value of fact is 1 star I value is, we have started with 2. So 1 star 2, that means 1 star 2, that means 2. So this 2 will be assigned to now fact. The new value of fact will be now 2. Then comes the increment section, that is the modification section, that is the increment here. I plus plus, I will be incremented by unity, that is 1, and I will become now 3. So let us check whether 3 is equal to or greater than or equal to 3, less than or equal to 3. 3 is definitely less than or equal to 3. So the condition again holds. We again enter the while loop for the second time and then repeat this operation all over again. That is, fact is now not 1, now it is 2. Then this 2 will be multiplied by the new value of I, that is 3. Now we will have this calculation 2 star 3, and that is equal to 6, which will be assigned to the variable fact. Now again I plus plus, I becomes 4. So 4 is greater than 3. So the condition doesn't hold now. So the program control just comes out of this while loop construct to go to the next line to printf the factorial in the same manner as shown above, and we come to the end of the else section, then the return 0, and finally down to the end of the main section. So this concludes the same program, that is the finding the factorial of a number, in another way, in another for loop construct, that is the while instead of the for. So this is the difference in position in the concept lies in some parts. We will just mention where is the difference, what is the difference between this program and the previous program. See, this is one difference. We have earlier declared this I variable, initialized it later on, but we have to initialize it in the first instance. So this is one difference, other than everything is true. And then comes this difference. So from here another difference starts. This line is a little bit different, this line is different, this line is not quite different because it is similar to the previous one, but this line is definitely different. That is this brace, use of brace. We have written only one line in the for loop section, that is only the operation part. That's why we didn't use the braces, pair of braces. Here we are using this pair of braces for this while section because we are writing multiple expression statement inside this while loop construct. That is, number one line is fact star I is equal to fact star I and I plus plus. So two lines, that means more than one line is coming under the while. So we are using this pair of braces because we cannot write a pair of lines or any line, any number of lines which is more than 2 or something like that in a single without using the braces. So we have used these braces. So this is one difference. This is one difference. This is one difference. This opening brace and this closing brace. Then everything is similar. Then everything is similar, and so on. So this is the implementation of finding the factorial of a number by while instead of for. So friends, if you have any doubts, or queries relating to this program, you can just go to the comment section where I can address to your comments. Thank you, friends.